How's everybody doing? Christian Hernandez here with SVG. We have a new SVG sponsor spotlight. We're bringing Spalk into the fold, and I'm very pleased to be joined by Ben Reynolds. He's the CEO and co-founder of the company. Ben, how you doing, sir? And how's 2022 doing for you so far?
Hey, Christian, how's it going? Good to be here. It's been funny. It's been starting to get back on the road, starting to travel again, starting to see clients in person again. It's certainly been a bit of a change from the last few years, sort of locked up in our respective home offices.
Right. Everyone's starting to get out into the world, starting to go on flights again, starting to drive long distances again. That's good to hear. So I guess a good starting foundation for the conversation, Ben. If someone's never heard of Spalk before, they're unfamiliar about the services and solutions that you provide. What are some of those things that you provide, and how are you guys making your way into the sports video production industry?
Sure. So we're in the business of content localization. What that means is we help broadcasters, leagues, and teams produce multilingual commentary and graphics, as well as alternate commentary and graphics, to help them better target demographics all around the world. So, we're working with a myriad of different leagues and broadcasters, and I'm sure we're going to be able to highlight a few of those case studies today. But, just to frame it up for everybody, it's all about localizing content and producing content custom for specific audiences, whether it's by language, style, demographic.
Right. And I'm sure, unfortunately, COVID has kind of racked the world in different ways. But from your standpoint, either providing different forms of commentary and those alternative broadcasts, depending on the demographic or the part of the country or the world that you're kind of targeting. How did the pandemic, positively accelerate some of your solutions, and you guys became something of great importance for those networks and partners?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously at the core of our business is our remote production studio. So being able to produce broadcast quality content remotely. COVID was obviously a huge asset to that. It's been, the number one selling point for a lot of customers over the past few years. But I think what's been more interesting is the whole industry is really moving towards IP-based production and IP-based workflows. We're the best in the world when it comes to commentary and graphics and customizing those for different territories. So yeah, I think COVID's been a big accelerator, but certainly there's a myriad of other reasons why customers are looking at us and trying to say, hey, can we use this service? Can we use your software to make sure that we're growing our commercial revenues, reducing cost, all of those good things.
Right. Cloud-based workflows were already kind of progressing even before the pandemic. The pandemic obviously made those things more prevalent than ever. But yes, you're right. So that's kind of more of a hybrid environment for those crews. The days of full on-site, no remotes are kind of put to the wayside for many reasons, like we've mentioned. So let's get into those key partnerships that you brought up at the beginning. Just to throw out a few: World Rugby, DAZN. I don't want to spoil any few. You can go into how you're helping those or any others that you want to highlight on your end.
Yeah, sure. So in 2021, we covered over 7,000 live broadcasts for various customers around the world. We're just creeping into the start of June as we record this now, and we're at 4,500 for this year. So, I think we're going to square out closer to 15 or 16,000 broadcasts that we'll support in 2022. Those customers range from at the top end, folks like NFL International. We're supporting all of the multilingual commentary broadcasting for NFL International. They use that as a way to target markets like Germany and Japan and grow their subscriber base and commercial opportunities in those markets. Through to other opportunities, things like the NHL and Rogers in Canada, where we're supporting multilingual broadcasts to help them target recent migrants to Canada and fans that they usually wouldn't be able to hit with the traditional English male white commentary voices. So offering more diverse voices so that they can help target and activate new audiences. So those are a few examples. And then internationally, we're touching so many different sports: basketball, ice hockey, everything, cycling, handball, all sorts of things. So yeah, if there's a broadcast you've watched, chances are you've seen one of our commentary, one of the productions that our commentary has produced over the past year or so.
Right. A lot of the entities that you mentioned have a huge bearing in the States, but also they're expanding their global footprint, right? So you mentioned NFL, NHL. It's not only about the English speaking audience, it's about trying to get those that are speaking other languages, because sports are more fun that way when everyone can enjoy it in their native language and the way that they want to enjoy it. So Ben, I guess before we close, this is the future of your services. The world is changing by the second, right? Everything is evolving. Things that are coming out last week, 2 weeks ago, could be obsolete in 2 months. The future of remote commentary, the future of your services, and what do you kind of see the industry as a whole going over the next, 6 to 12 months?
For sure. I mean, cloud-based production has huge cost advantages over traditional in-person physical hardware-based workflows. The key for us is we're continuing to build, industry-leading software that can do a better job quality-wise than traditional methods. So not only is it cheaper, you're getting a better quality broadcast at the end of it. What I'm excited about is starting to dig into more, particularly in the US, alternate style broadcasts leveraging influencers, betting and sports betting related content, and things like that, where a rights owner or a broadcaster is able to say, yeah, not only am I going to produce a Spanish and a German and a Japanese broadcast, I'm also going to do a betting broadcast, and I'm going to display live odds on screen. I'm going to get a TikTok or an Instagram influencer to provide a broadcast targeted at a younger audience. So we're excited to be, leading the charge in a lot of those spaces. And I think you're going to see more and more of those commercially activated and commercially minded alternate broadcast experiences as we get into 2022.
Right. We live in a world where there's, Manning casts, mega casts for different options. So I agree with you that this introduction of the alternative broadcast has only broadened the possibilities of who you can talk to, who you can bring in. And that'll only help, the younger demographic and future evolutions of future generations of fans to come. Ben, thanks for taking the time, sir. Welcome to SVG. We're really glad to have you part of the family, but thanks for taking the time. Hope to see you in person soon. And good luck the rest of the way in 2022, man.
Thank you so much. So excited to be here.